Hello, good day to me, Andy here and talking really, and I've got a question to answer. I've had on my videos, yesterday's video, the SSE over Bully Boys video, and somebody's asked this question. So, hi Andy, I have a similar issue. I wonder if you could shed your expertise on. Please remember, I'm not an expert. I'm only giving you my advice from my perspective. I'm not qualified in any legal matters. You take my advice at face value. I will do my best, obviously, to make sure that it's true and factual. However, I'm not giving you legal advice. If you want any legal advice, then you must seek proper legal counsel and mainly do your own research, because I've found out in the past that people give advice and the information they give you is rubbish. When you do your own research on it, you find out that it's totally wrong. So that's what I say, and back to the question. So British Gas came round to my flat when only my partner was in. Instead of simply repairing the display screen that was broken, which I'd only asked of them, they actually changed the whole meter and put in a smart meter system, which I didn't want. So what they did, I mean, British Gas are actually one of the worst companies for this, and they have been in the news, and there are lots of other companies out there who are doing the same thing, because they have pressure from the government to achieve a certain target of smart meters by 2030. And the only way that they can do it, because people don't want them, is to do it behind your back and then claim that they haven't got any normal ones anymore, because they're obsolete. They're not obsolete, let me tell you that. There's plenty available. You can buy one yourself if you wish. It's on eBay, whatever, brand new. Or you can get somebody who's a fitter to supply it with the fitting. And it's perfectly legal, don't forget, to have your own meter. It is basically a fallacy that they will tell you. They will come to your door, like I had the other day, and he swore blind that it's not legal. Quite literally, it's swore blind, when I know for a fact it's legal. It's legal to have your own meter, and also legal to not to sign up with any of these billing agents if you don't want to. There's no law that compels you to do that, and they need to prove it. They can't just say that you can't do it, they have to prove it. Anyway, back to this idea that British Gas are coming in. You have a fault with your meter that you've obviously told them about, and they've come and put in a meter that is totally different, a smart meter, which we all know about, I think, if we do. If we don't, then go and do some research on that. But they are actually causing certain people health issues, all right, because of the 5G radio waves, or whatever you want to call them. They're not good for you, put it that way. And there's a lot of evidence out there, medical evidence out there. If you go and look, there is plenty of it. And it's your right, because it's not compulsory, all right? It's not compulsory to have a smart meter. You can refuse. Now, the problem is that the next part of the question is this. What can I do about it? I raised a complaint, and although they have admitted that they made a mistake and apologised, offering £10 compensation, they are saying that they no longer have the type of meter I had originally installed, nor any alternative apparently. So basically what we have, they have admitted fault, that they did it wrong, and it's in writing presumably, and they've offered you compensation. So they know that they've done it wrong, and they know they've been caught out, but what they're doing is they're using that age-old excuse. Oh, we haven't got any of the old ones, sorry. You'll have to have your smart meter still. No. If they really wanted one, I could get one for them off of eBay. And I know I'd go on about eBay, but I mean, you can literally buy a brand new one. And I've had two so far in the last year and a half. Not from eBay, but I've had it from a fitter. I don't know where he bought it from, but clearly he's in the trade. And the trade, obviously, there is a slight limitation on the numbers available at the moment because of the technology, but they are still available. So I don't know what they're on about. British Gas are just liars. like all of them, they just lie to you. Like the fact when they say, like I just said earlier, they'll tell you that you're not allowed to have a meter fitted, and you're not allowed for anybody else apart from them to fit it, which is all lies. It's all lies. So don't believe it. It's basically they want you to have a smart meter because they've been told by the government to fit these meters, and the only way they can do it is behind your back. Right. So continuing on, I mean, basically he said that I use minimal energy as I'm at my mother's caring for her most of the day, and I stay at hers weekends. And I've already had the gas meter removed since they were charging a stealth tax charge not shown on the bill. So obviously they haven't got gas there. I personally think this is a clear-cut case that we could get some compensation for this in the court, so county court action. But I think the first thing is to make sure that they remove this smart meter. There are ways around it. You obviously could do it the hard way and keep on bashing your head against a brick wall. Or what you can do is this. If you wish to, you can get yourself a medical certificate saying that this 5G stuff is affecting your health. It's perfectly acceptable, and there are plenty of plenty of evidence out there that it does affect your health. And with it in the house or near the house, it's going to be on 24/7. So, you know, and it's all about controlling you as well, because smart doesn't mean smart, it means it's controlling you. Basically what I would do is I would formulate a notice to them. It's not a letter, okay, it's a notice, a bit stronger than that. First of all, they have admitted fault, so you have that in your favour, right? Now, and you've obviously raised a complaint, but complaints are not really the way to go, because they will turn your notice into a complaint. They've done that to me many times. I've written cease and desist notice, 3 times, and they made them all into complaints. Oh, sorry to hear about your complaint, blah blah blah. No, I told you to stop. It's not asking for compensation or your apology. I'm asking you to stop. In fact, I'm telling you to stop. So cease and desist. Anyway, so the idea of this would be you give them, say, 14 days to respond. You do not accept the smart meter. You didn't have one before. You don't want that one now. You need it changed, and you're not going to accept the fact that they can't get one. And I mean, technically, what you could do is you could print out a electronic meter from eBay, print it out, and say, look, here's plenty of them. Go and buy one from eBay, you idiots. But obviously, being in the business, they will know that. They will know, because obviously they're not idiots. They're not that stupid. They're just liars. The next stage is that you can put in there, you give them 14 days. If they don't respond, you can then send them another one, and this will be a reminder of your notice that they had 14 days, they did not respond, and you will be seeking financial compensation from them, and it will be a figure of whatever you fancy, really. So I know, £5,000 for your compensation, and basically send that as an invoice. So write out an invoice directly. Now what you need to do is find out the CEO. So find out the name of the CEO of British Gas. It should be fairly easy. Just go onto onto company's house maybe. There are plenty of ways to find out who is in charge, and send the bill, the invoice, directly to them. So make sure you're not dealing with lackeys. You want the organ grinder, not the monkey, right? So it all sounds very difficult, but it's not. It's very easy. Now from there, from the time that you sent them the invoice, you then should really do 3 reminders. So say, 7 days, 10 days after, send another one. You haven't paid the bill. I remind you that you need to pay it within 7 days, blah, blah, blah. Another 7 days gone by, the second one. So you say, I've sent you 2, includes the copies of the first 2 and the bill again, and say you haven't paid it, so you've got 7 days to pay it, otherwise we'll be looking at going to county court. The third one is your last one. You say, well, okay, you haven't paid it, we've given you 2 reminders, this is your last chance. After this, the next reminder will be that we are going to be doing court action, right? And the county court is online, so you don't have to go anywhere. You can do it on HM government website. It's on there under county court. It's also small claims court is what it's known as. Now your bill, obviously you need to keep all the evidence of what you've done so far. You may need to make it last, say, just a couple of months, so drag it out a little bit so you have a length of time, because what they like to see is that you've made some effort for them to contact you. And if they send you a letter that says, oh, we understand that you've got a complaint about your smart meter, it's not a complaint. You put down your facts, you want it removed, they need to remove it, and they have a legal duty to do that because you did not agree to have one. Now, ideally, in an ideal world, if you're still paying your electric bill, I would recommend that you contact your company, whoever they are, and put them in writing and put in there, you do not at any point in the future want a smart meter, right? Make it well known of your idea that you don't want it. I did that a long time ago before I cancelled my account. SSE tried to send me letters saying, oh, we need to change your meter, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote back and said, I do not want one. Do not ever contact me again regarding smart meters. And they wrote back and said, we understand what you're saying and we will not bother you again. So it is worth doing that if you're still paying your bill. If you're not paying the bill, it doesn't make any difference. What you could do is get your own meter fitted. It's perfectly legal. However, that's another story. Right, so yeah, so the third letter that you have, the third notice, and then the final one, the last one, number 4, just to be polite and abide by the unwritten rules, okay, you have to play fair, right? We're all about, in the contract game, it's all about being honourable, right? You've probably heard that before, and we need to be fully honourable. So it's no good lying, it's no good making up stuff. We must be honest. Even if they're liars, even if they don't abide by the law or the rules, we need to be seen to be honourable. And the only way to do that is to be fair. You know, you're in charge. You have to take the charge of this and be in control. So the fourth one is give them another 7 days or another 3 days or whatever you like, and say, right, if we have not heard from you in the 7 days, we will be starting court proceedings. This is your last chance. I guarantee you that they won't reply. They never do. And by not replying, they're actually admitting fault. This is how it works in contract. Yeah, we are dealing with them under civil law, civil contracts, but we are dealing with them at their own game. They have to respond, otherwise it's a case of they just admit guilt, and this is where they go wrong, because they don't understand that. Well, they're not bothered because they think the law is on their side. Anyway, I've gone on for about 20 minutes now, so I'm going to cut it short. But I hope, Sean, that you can contact me if you need any more help. But I would be insisting on that in writing. Do not phone them. Do not phone them. Do not respond to any phone calls or other letters. If they're a letter saying, oh, we're responding to your complaint, it's not a complaint. It's a demand, right? You are demanding that they remove the meter. Now, there's one last thing. if you are worried about any of this and you haven't got the tenacity and the balls, as it were, if you don't mind me saying that, but you know, if you're worried about everything and you don't want a confrontation, because it can be quite stressful. Even I don't like confrontation, really, but I have planned this now. I have my list of things that I'm going to do, and my list of things I'm going to say, and I've got my camera ready, and I've got this plan in my head. Now, if I didn't do that, I don't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to say, and I hate confrontation. And certainly I would lose my temper, and I would probably say something that I regret. Get a plan if you're that way inclined, and stick to it. But if you can't manage any of that, then I do recommend that you don't do any of it, because it can be quite stressful. I've had this going on now since October 2022, when I cancelled my account, and they've been bothering me on and off all last year. So it was what was it, five visits, and having the meter stolen. So it's not good. It's not an ideal situation. And if you're alone in the house, you go out and you come back and you find they've been and they've stolen your meter, I mean, that could be really, really annoying. Right, that's it then. Have a good day. I hope that answered your question. And if you have any more, then please do comment down below.